Welcome to Your Unapologetic Life, the podcast for the woman who isn't crying over him, she's rebuilding after the breakup. If you're standing at the start of your next chapter, single again, unsure where to live, what to do, or who you even are now, you're in the right place. Here, we don't chase closure, we create clarity, and we don't shrink, we rise. I'm Morgan, and if you're ready to start taking your power back, visit morganbarkis.com. When you subscribe to my email list, you'll get immediate access to my free video training, Bounce Back Quick, 5 confidence boosters after a breakup. And if you're ready for deeper support, scroll to the show notes for a direct link to book a free discovery call with me. Let's start building a life that fits you unapologetically. I was on my way up to Evanston, Illinois, driving up, 294 North. I live in the Chicagoland area. And out of nowhere, I thought, if it wasn't for my mom and dad, there isn't one person in this world that would care where I am and what I'm doing every day. My dad, I share my location with my parents. Mom doesn't always remember how to do it. Dad stalks me all the time. I tell him, I said, Dad, you're the only stalker I've ever had that I like. We laugh about that. My mom, she tells me, she's like, your dad stalks you all the time. It's funny. I mean, I love it because to me, because I travel so much, they always know where I am. It's nice to have someone care where you are. And I was driving and I had that thought. So I texted my dad and I said, Dad, I appreciate that you track me and that you call almost every day to check in. You and Mom are really the only two people in this world that care what I'm doing and where I'm going every day. It wasn't to be dramatic. It was the feeling that I had in that moment, because besides your parents or a partner, you really are untethered to this earth. Your parents and your partners are the only ones who tether you to this earth. Without them, you can feel like you're floating around, unseen, unaccounted for, or alone. That was what I was feeling in that moment. It stirred something big in me, this sense of untetheredness, like if something happened to me, who would even notice? Like eventually a friend would be like, I haven't heard from Morgan in a while. And really, besides your partner who you check in with every day or your parents, who really cares? And then I thought, what if something did happen to someone I love? What if there really was something that happened, and who would show up? Who would care? And it's unfair to me to think that only a partner, if I had one, or my parents care. Because I know my brother and his wife would show up like warriors. Right alongside them would be my niece and nephew, and my other nephew, and some of their friends even. I mean, I thought about how when I was home, I am home right now. I'm recording this sitting in my mom and dad's living room. I'm at the Barkis Ranch holding the fort down because they went down to Milwaukee to see a Chris Stapleton concert with my auntie and her boyfriend and my cousin and her husband and my other cousin who lives down in Milwaukee. The day before, we needed to get the hay in. So I come from a family where we don't farm for profit. We farm to take care of the animals that we have as pets, if you will. So my parents have 4 horses. It keeps them busy. It gets them outside at least twice a day, even in the winter. And because they're graining the horses, and they brush them and take care of them and clean up the barn and do all these things. Well, 2 to 3 times a year, they also, cut, rake, bale, and put up into the barn, into the hay loft, it's called, their own hay. And we do square bales. They're actually more rectangular, and they're referred to as square bales versus the big round bales. Anyway, the square bales, they've been doing that before I was born, and I'm almost 45 years old. My parents have been farming for a very long time. And when we were younger, my brother and I, we would follow behind the baler. My dad would be on the tractor and, he hooks up this baler, and the bales would come out And sometimes they would come up standing up vertically. And so we would go down and we would karate kick them down, and we would jump over bales. It was kind of a game, right? Well, then we got older, and it got to the point where I learned how to drive the tractor. And so then my mom and my dad would pick up bales, put them on the trailer, stack them up. My brother and I got strong enough that mom could drive the tractor. My brother and I would throw bales to my dad on the trailer, and he would stack them up. So the process got even faster, having all four of us. Well, now my parents are 71 years old, and they can do it, and it's a ton of work, just the two of them. So my brother comes, his wife, my niece and nephew, my other nephew, their friends. Like, when they showed up the other day, they like, it's so cool because now my niece and nephew, they're all old enough to drive. They have their own vehicles. And it was so cool because 3 vehicles come in and park on the road, and everybody jumps out like warriors. It was so awesome. So there it was. And sometimes I miss this now because I live in the Chicagoland area. So I'm not always home during the time to be a part of this family thing. And truly, whether it's baling hay or if we had something happen in the family, that everyone shows up like warriors. And I thought about that, and it really is not just my parents. It's not just a partner, if I had one, that tethers me to the earth or you. It's all the people that care about me or you, the ones who are there when life gets hard. And I think about times I've been single, or if you're newly single now, or you're having to start over after a breakup, you know this feeling. Not just loneliness, but disconnection, a bit of drifting or feeling untethered. And you're not looking back, you're trying to figure out how to move forward, where to live, whether to stay in your job, how to make choices that are finally yours. And let me tell you something, this untethered moment, it isn't the end. It's the beginning of your next chapter. Here are 5 things to remember when you feel untethered. Name it. Say to yourself, because one of the things you want to think about is, what are you feeling? What are you thinking that then becomes a feeling? And then how to turn that around if it is not a good feeling. Anyway, one of the things to remember when you are feeling untethered is to name it. I feel unmoored. I feel invisible. Naming this emotion is the first way to contain it. Say it out loud. The second thing to remember is find one tether. Think of a friend. Maybe you journal. You have a playlist. You move your body in a way that you enjoy. Something or someone that holds you, even briefly, makes you feel grounded to this earth. The third thing to remember is to do one thing that you can control. So this might sound silly or simple. I like to, on Saturday mornings, have coffee and go through my finances. I get to control this spreadsheet that I have. I have my profits and losses. I call it my assets and my deficits over here. My student loans are my only deficit. Then I get to go and I get to add up all the things that I'm investing in and all the positive accounts that I have. And then I have control. I have eyes on the numbers. You get to control how you feed your body, putting nutritious food into your body and nourish your body. You get to make those choices. You also get to choose how you move your physical body and think, what do I feel like doing right now? And I will say, after my breakup got over a year and a half ago, I couldn't tell you how many walks I took outside. There's a wilderness nature trail park, I don't know, maybe like a mile or two from my apartment. And I would go there, park, put in the earbuds, put on a classical music playlist, and walk. And the loop I took was 2.3 miles. And so it would take me, if I was feeling kind of especially down that day, not dragging my feet, but not really moving my feet very fast, it would take me about 40 minutes to walk, 45. And then other days I was speeding right along, processing my feelings, sometimes out loud, even if I I tried not to talk out loud when people were able to see me, but it happens. I even shot some of my YouTube videos while I was walking because I process my feelings while moving, and being outside made me feel grounded and tethered. And then in the end, sometimes I would take off my shoes and just lay under a tree and like put my feet on that tree because it just felt like I was just really a part of the earth then and grounded. Anyway, if you're a tree hugger like me, then you might want to do that. It feels good. Anyway, you don't want to micromanage yourself, micromanage your life. It's more about empowering yourself. The fourth thing to remember is to restory the narrative. Instead of I have no one, you can say I'm in transition. I'm rewriting the script. The fifth thing to remember is speak the truth to yourself. Say it out loud. I matter, even in silence. My life is mine now. I'm not untethered. I'm learning how to root myself. If today's episode is speaking to you, if you've ever felt unmoored lately, I was adding more words than necessary. You know what I meant. If you've felt unmoored or alone, lonely, no one's checking in, you don't have someone to talk to every day or texting you, what are you doing? Where are you? What do you want to do after work? That can be lonely. It can feel sad. You want to remember you're not lost. You're rebuilding. You're not alone. And if you want a small but powerful step, go to my website, morganbarkus.com. Subscribe to my email list. You'll get immediate access to my free video training, Bounce Back Quick, 5 confidence boosters after a breakup. It's helpful because it shows you ways like taking control of your finance, to ground yourself, doing certain things that make you feel grounded. And support system is one of those 5, mind you. And I go into that and I talk more about your support system. I don't know about you, when I'm feeling down, I have a tendency to isolate. And that's the last thing I should be doing. And I know that. So I do spend time alone. I'll journal. And like I said, I walk in the woods with my classical music playlist. And I will go to a restaurant and sit at the bar and chat with people. I will make brunch plans with a girlfriend. I will find a music event and think, you know what, let me go to this thing. If I don't want to be here anymore, I leave. If I'm feeling a certain kind of way, or it could be one of the best days of my life, So you have to trust your own body, and the Bounce Back Quick video will help you in moments. Or if you want to, I even do book recommendations as well as movie recommendations. So there's a lot of ways in the video for resources in terms of if you do feel like sitting at home alone and you're feeling a certain kind of way, I have a movie suggestion that can help you in that moment, in that feeling, and kind of work on that confidence booster in the way that feels right for you. If you want to read, if you want to go out, if you want to watch a movie, whatever. Anyway, and if you're craving deeper support, so let's say you actually would want an accountability partner or someone to coach you through this process and be there to talk to and support you, there's a link in my show notes for a free clarity call with me. And on that call, we talk about the coaching program, what you're needing right now, and if I'm even a good fit for you. And then we can talk about what's next. And then you can rebuild unapologetically. You're not floating. You're becoming. And you are allowed to root yourself in the life that you want. Thanks for tuning in to Your Unapologetic Life. If this spoke to you, then trust. Your next chapter is waiting. You don't have to rush it, and you don't have to do it alone. Visit morganbarkus.com to subscribe and get immediate access to my free video training, Bounce Back Quick. It's your first step to feeling grounded, confident, and powerful again. And if you're ready to work together, you'll also find a direct link to book a free discovery call, either on the site or right here in the show notes. You get to live a life that feels right for you. Let's make it bold. Let's make it clear. Let's make it unapologetic.